Hello and welcome to another episode of
Which way? Doesn't matter because we can't do it. The English Couple.
The English Couple. And here we are, a year in. We've worked out now that we have been on the land at Biggleswick Farm for 1 year. 12 long, arduous, tedious, hard-working months.
So yeah, we were granted access before we legally had possession.
Yes,
Such.
It was very nice of the previous chap who owned the land, who gave us the key, whilst we said we're definitely buying it. And he said, well, we're moving up north somewhere. You're very welcome to...
Go and get cracking.
Which we did. And so we're sitting here. We're going to take you round just to remind long-term listeners, viewers even, who've been watching, and those that perhaps have only just started watching. Maybe this is your first foray into the English Couple. I'm Julia.
This is Richard.
And we're a mixed up pair of nutcases, as you may find, watching this channel. But we are sitting in front of our wonky workshop.
Won't you take me to Wonky Town?
So although it would be good for us to sort of go round in order of things that we did, we just thought we'd have a mug of tea on this beautiful sunny day. It's so rare to get a sunny day these days, isn't it? What with all the rain we've been having.
A chance would be a fine thing.
Chance would be a fine thing. We're still hoping and praying for a bit of water. But one of the things that we did build fairly early on, but not too early on, this was our, second construction? Third construction.
The first was the fence around the, the veg patch.
We'll get to that, and then the other thing. So this was the third of our constructions, which we had some very interesting comments as we were making this, particularly one chap, I think, who'd been a carpenter for 25 years, who I think was so disgusted that we even are trying or attempting to make something, which we'd never done before, and that was a workshop out of available wood from our little woodland that we inherited here, and
a local sawmill.
A local sawmill who provided us with these...
The cladding.
The cladding. And whilst we may not have done it in a true and proper sense, as most people might have done with experience, we gave it a whirl. And 1 year later, more or less, this is probably a few months younger than that, it's still here.
Yes.
And it's serving us very well, thank you very much. But before we move on and show you around what's been achieved and possibly what hasn't been achieved, we thought we'd just talk a little bit about the fact that we never really imagined that we would be here.
Yes, I mean, we were praying and hoping and manifesting as best we could, but, you know, we still can't quite believe we are here and we have this opportunity and this wonderful lifestyle. Hectic. But so wonderful.
Yes. We, many years ago, had stayed on a neighbouring field in the van, and we'd been shown this field, but it wasn't available to buy. It wasn't even up for sale, and it wasn't really on our radar to think about buying. Although
it was there in the back of the mind going, oh, it would be lovely to have a little spot just like this.
But we'd been looking a year or so ago now at places further afield, in fact, in the West Country, because although there are some lovely places up north, Julia's family and my family, I suppose, are all here in the south.
On the south coast, yeah.
So we didn't really want to move very far. We were offered a wonderful gorge.
A gorgeous gorge.
A gorgeous gorge right up in Scotland.
Caithness.
And we were very sorely tempted, although we've yet to go and visit. But because of the families and the commitment that would take of getting up and back, I mean, it's bad enough commuting here from where our house is, which is an hour on a good run. Yep. We figured that it had to be somewhere in the south. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this opportunity came up.
Yes, absolutely.
And we took it with both hands.
Oh, yes.
And of course...
And lots of glee.
And lots of glee. Now, because we're sort of toing and froing at the moment, what would have been lovely is to have shown you excerpts from that year going through with the footage and stuff to be able to compare then and now. But unfortunately...
Not today.
Not today, but maybe in the future.
Yes, hopefully soon we'll do a little montage of then and now.
Yes.
Just to celebrate the first year.
The first year. So, so this, although this all looks, you know, like it's been here for ages, it's probably only been here about 8 or 9 months, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 maximum. Yeah.
So this was the third construction. So let us take you around to some of the locations here on our 2.5 acres and show you and talk about, if nothing else, what we have managed to do or haven't done. Here is nice and clear.
It is now.
It is now, isn't it? But when we came, this was one of several huge areas that brambles had taken root.
Yeah, like higher than my fingertips.
And we just knew in order to get on and do stuff, we had to clear certain areas.
Things like this, yeah.
And we came with hand tools. And we've still basically got hand tools. We do have a couple of motorised tools now, like a strimmer and a thing you cut logs with, whatever you call
Chainsaw.
it. Thank you.
Yeah, we have worked out that these bodies that we have, they're beautiful gifts from God, and they are fallible.
Very fallible.
And so some powered tools are very helpful indeed.
But we didn't have those, and we were clipping for absolute ages all around this area. At that time, of course, it was coming on to the end of summer, and we had rain. I remember we did this in a thunderstorm.
That's right.
But we
It was a mini monsoon, I think, at one point.
It was. We were absolutely drenched. And there were other areas down there and all around that tree that you can't see were more of these. And over the few months, we've managed to clear all that away, and then we
keep it down as well.
And keep it down because it keeps coming back. And we had bonfires.
Yes.
And your dad came to help.
That's right. We had
you may remember, and we had these long pitchforks which we brought up the brambles and bung them on the fire. And we had these amazing fires, which of course we will have to do time and time again.
Yes.
But the clearance work was just something that A, had to be done, and B, continually has to be done.
Yes, it's general maintenance, isn't it? I mean, these poor hazel trees, they were absolutely swallowed up in this particular thicket.
Yes.
It was what? Is that 30 foot by 60, something like that?
Quite a large area.
But
you discovered some interesting plants.
Yes, we did find as we were doing the clearing, and actually it was as we were preparing a little patch to plant some apples in from that tree.
Oh yes.
We didn't think those apples would come through.
No,
it was just something fun to do in the rain, wasn't it?
It was.
But yes, we discovered the honeysuckle. When we were doing that, and we decided that although there is bits coming up elsewhere, kind of discouraging them, just that here is a great place for them. There's more coming up this side. What I'd like to do is build a nice arbour to have it growing around.
Let all the lovely boats fly through the arbour. Oh no, that's a harbour, isn't it?
I think you're a bit mixed up there.
Yes. One of the things that we wanted to get cracking on straight away, however, was preparing some ground so that we could get something to grow, because that was the purpose. So let's go and see what we did next. So this is our veg patch.
The infamous.
And of course, none of this was here, naturally. In fact, it was grass up to about here.
And thistles.
Yeah, so one thing we had to do was to chop the grass down, and that was hard because, again, we only had the hand tools, and we didn't have a scythe at that point. We only had we
had bill hooks, we had hose.
And a sickle.
And
I remember getting on my hands and knees with a sickle and trying to clear them up as much away as we wanted. And the thing was, we were going to have this double the size, so that it went further that way. But we discovered that underneath the mud there is what is, I suppose, an old track that was put here by a previous owner.
Yeah, kind of like a cobble lane, but not cobbles, like broken slabs and bricks. And
So we couldn't grow into that. So we've
Sorry.
made it this size, but actually it's still really too small for our needs now.
It is. We need another 3 or 4.
One of the first things we did was to put in this fence, which we managed to do, and some chicken wire to stop predators coming in and eating whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not saying that's very successful. We could have done with another layer
For what
of it,
that was
really.
worth, yeah.
But it did mark out the area, and of course, in the year we have grown all sorts of bits and pieces in here. We haven't maximised it yet because we're still trying to work out what will grow outside, whether it will grow best from seeds, whether it's transplanted. So what kind of stuff have we grown in here, Julia?
Well, originally in here we did have some peas, but they completely failed.
Yeah.
And we had there was 2 types of beans in here,
Broad beans?
aqua dolce or something, and broad beans, and another type. Only 3 of those came through.
But we did have quite a nice crop of those broad beans.
No!
They were very tasty. What's the matter?
Aphids.
Aphids.
Get on that in a minute.
Yeah. But what have we
Trapped.
got? What have we got here now?
What we have here now is the fava beans, aka horse beans. We have, well, last week you'd have seen me put in the first 2 little rows of the
Celery.
Yep, thank you, celery. There's now 48 of those. I've smashed those more in there. Smashed, poof.
So we've got celery here and
There's
over there.
48 celery here. There will be 48 more going in here. We've got tomato plants over here.
And which
then-
we did originally have onions.
Oh yes, onions were there.
And we've harvested those onions,
Yep.
and they're very tasty.
We had a second lot of peas in here before this.
And they were not so good.
Yeah, but we did get a meal out of that one.
we
that
did get
lot.
a meal. What we realised, I think, is that as many people have said, you need to plant far more than you actually expect, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you're going to get a certain percentage which is either being eaten by aphids,
Yeah.
rodents,
Yeah.
or the weather.
And some just won't come up at all.
And so you need to overproduce. So
Yes.
we're still learning, of course.
Yes.
We've got carrots in the corner.
Carrots in the corner, yes.
and
We've
a
still
number
got
of-
lemon balm, coltsfoot, some ash trees, and when the time it comes, they'll be going in the borders, the trees.
So this was the first thing we did, and as you can see, it's still in its embryonic stage. Really, we want to grow a lot more, but in order to get those seeds to go up, we needed somewhere to pot them, didn't we?
Yes, and somewhere to
And-
bring them on.
That's where that funny-looking thing
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
comes into it. Let's go and have a look, shall we?
Yes, I think we should. Polytunnel Mark 1.
This was it's very hot in there, by the way. So
you can't stand in there.
and it was, of course, our original shelter. Because when the rain came in the autumn and we got this erected using the spruce trees from the Christmas trees that we inherited that were already here, which were oversized,
And willow
and the willow for the thing,
The roof.
this became a place.
to take shelter.
It was the only real thing that we had. There is a cabin which we inherited as well, but that had a leaky roof.
Yeah, it's dilapidated. But yeah, in here we have some very tightly packed salad leaves. There's about 30 potted celery.
More celery.
They need to go in the ground. And varying sizes. I've got 40 of them in one little tray over there, and then another 12 to 20, something like that, left to go into a pot in itself. It's crazy. We've got some beautiful lettuce in there. We've got a couple of little more flower plants come up there for companion planting, but it's all a bit delayed, haphazard, and frenetic, really.
And when we built it, of course, we had the construction, we just bought the plastic, so it really only cost us about £50. And some people have said, their little potting sheds cost them in excess of £100 or more. And just before you say that, inside we were very kindly given from a local pub who were throwing out some shelves. So we put these shelves, and Julia very deftly put them together, without which we couldn't really do what we're doing now. What was that you had to show, Julia?
That, I think it was a cosmos, but one of the few plants that came up. And one of our
purple lettuce things. Looks quite pretty.
Looks beautiful. Does
We've
that
had-
need repotting?
It does need repotting. We've already had a few leaves off that particular one.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
So this has been the sort of the production workshop, really, isn't it, for getting the seeds growing? But we were overflowing.
We were.
And
this was crammed.
Yeah, Julia said, I need a bigger polytunnel, which we'll show you a little bit later. The other thing that Julia said...
Was that we were running out of water. We were needing to buy more water bottles and stuff, weren't we?
Yes.
So I said, we need a pond. Because every time it rained, all of the plastic, wherever we had the black plastic down, I was using a cup to scoop up water and put it in watering cans and stuff like that.
We had no water whatsoever. So, yes, somebody had to go and dig out the earth. And actually, we have got one. We'll show you it. It's a bit overgrown at the moment.
And very shallow now.
And very shallow and in a poor old state, really. But we could have done with one at least double, if not triple the size.
Yep.
Let's go and have a look at the pond. As we say, it doesn't look so great at the moment.
Not very glamorous, is it?
It's gone a bit furry with all the grass.
Yeah.
But at the time, of course, all this was clear. And when we had the rain, it did fill up. Unfortunately, we're on clay here. And so we sealed it as best we could with the clay.
In a very amateurish way, yeah.
But it's held the water.
It
and
has.
It's still got some water in now. We've had a heat wave, of course, for over 6 weeks or so.
So in actual fact, I'm amazed that there is any water left in there.
Absolutely. And when it rains, it does fill up a bit.
Looking a bit scummy, but...
We've put in some, what do you call those oxygenating plants?
Yeah, the little pondweeds and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not sure their exact names.
That's an island that was bare. We've kind of had to leave it alone, really, because it's difficult to get in with the strimmer. And if you stand in there, as we have done with boots on...
You might lose one.
Yeah, you get sucked down. But for a long time, this was our main water source because we didn't have any other means of getting water. And it was just about doing us justice until we almost took all the water out of it until the rain came.
Little red dragonflies in there. That's cool.
And we had this image that we would be sitting around here enjoying, say at lunchtime, the dragonflies and various other and what do you call it, aquatic life forms. We haven't had much time to do that because we've been on the go most of the time. But we will do in due course, won't we?
Yes, we will. Ooh.
Right. I think it was after this that we did the wonky workshop, wasn't it?
Yes. Mo doesn't want to be in shot today.
No. Fair enough. And by the wonders of television, the lovely Julia has changed.
Costume change. No, the heat of the day struck.
Yes.
So I had to magic myself into something a little bit more comfortable.
And I'm a bit warm in me cardi, but never mind. So one of the things, we've seen the wonky workshop at the beginning, obviously. But one of the things that we have done, of course, in more recent times, was to get some guttering up and these barrels, which were here, to store water in.
Yes,
Which
we've
of
given
course-
them a good rinse out and everything.
Which we've been using, but we could definitely do with a bit more rain.
And more of these water collections, but we're getting to them.
Yes, we need more surfaces and things.
Yes.
So anyway, you would have seen this fairly recently, and sorry, there's a bit of wind on the microphone. So we bought something rather splendid, didn't we?
We did.
Shall we go and have a gander?
Yes, I think we should.
After you, madam. That's me rhubarb, by the way. Yes, we bought a tractor, and here's some shots of the tractor in use, actually in a neighbour's field, with a topper. That's the thing that cuts the grass.
Yeah, basically a big lawnmower
Yeah.
attachment.
And we did at one time think about purchasing the topper itself, but I think by the time we've got all the beds in on our land and the trees and various other things that we've got.
There's just not enough room to swing one, is there?
No, you do need a big area to be chopping, and as you can see here, it is quite grueling actually, driving the tractor with this topper being powered by something called a PTO, which is a power takeoff, which is the drive shaft which turns the blade at the bottom of the topper. It's a huge iron thing.
It is. It's quite scary when you get close to it, when it's
But
active.
The tractor itself has been an absolute godsend in many different ways, because we've used it to pull out trees. If you've been watching, you would have seen us pull out fallen
Pull out
trees.
trees from overgrown
brambles.
undergrowth.
Yeah, and we've used it with the trailer to bring things up onto the land, to move logs, and of course later on it will be servicing all sorts of different jobs. It's, you know, a tractor is a tractor, isn't it?
Yep.
And it's nice to be able to repay the favour, because we had the grass cut when we first came here after a few months by our neighbour, and we made a deal. Originally we were going to give him some logs, but then he said, oh, actually, if you cut my grass, it'll be like for like. So that was lovely.
Yes.
So there we are.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was great fun. So a tractor is one of our good assets, and
Our
we keep
greatest
it.
blessings, sorry.
Yeah, our greatest blessing. We keep it at another neighbour's house. Well, not in their house, obviously, but in a
their
little
barn.
shed. But it's a lovely thing.
It is.
And one of our major projects, I suppose, having made the little polytunnel, was the structure and the creation and then the filling of our main
Big polytunnel.
polytunnel, which is, let me think, it's 10 foot wide by 20 foot deep. And as you can see, now it's chock-a-block with all sorts of stuff.
Yes. Predominantly tomatoes, basil, chamomile, lettuces, some trees and celery. Lots of celery.
And we've got little oaks growing, which we aim to bring on to put into the perimeter. Because last year was a mast year, wasn't it?
It was.
So many oak trees have come up that we thought we would salvage them and let them grow on.
We've also got some hawthorn and some sweet chestnut, a horse chestnut, and an almond tree.
Who would figure that? So this took quite some time to build. Again, these uprights all came from the little, what we call our wood yard, which is a wooded area just behind here of Christmas trees that were planted 30 years ago and were never harvested. So
But they've been very useful spruces.
they've been very useful, as you can see, for all this building work, and then the polythene that was put over the top. And we knew it would work in the end when we got there, because the little polytunnel has been up, you know, in wind and rain and what have you. Here it's a bit sheltered, although it's blooming hot in here. We've got a thermometer back here, and at the moment it's about 34 degrees, but it can get up to 40, which is not great for the plants.
And it's very uncomfortable for anyone at that temperature.
Yes. So this has been a big project, hasn't it, to get this up and running, because really and truly we needed the space from the little poly. And now Julia's really, you're in here a lot, aren't you, watering and
tending
maintaining.
to and fertilising and adding various bits and bobs too.
We haven't had a huge amount of success, but I think that a lot of people have said that with the tomatoes, because it's just too hot with this heat wave.
Plus, like we've said a million times, we're newbies.
We're new.
So, you know, sometimes we've overwatered them, sometimes we've underwatered them.
Perhaps we haven't fed them enough, and
Exactly.
we're learning all these tricks of the trade.
And with some of them, I didn't get them tied up soon enough, so they've struggled. But all in all, we are happy.
Yes, there's a lot more that we could have shown you, but it's kind of little bitty bits, more clearance work, more bits and pieces. But overall, these are the main things that we've done this year, and we've been very proud to do it.
Speaking of overall, it'd be nice to get a nice drone shot again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be
We've
lovely.
done it once when we first got the veg patch up and running.
Yeah, I'll have to get the drone out again. Won't be in this one, I'm afraid.
No.
But we will do that, and we hope next year that we'll be able to show you a different walk round with a lot more to show for it. But well done, Julia.
Well done, Richard.
Our first year, and keep watching our progress, and of course you'll see more bits and pieces, hopefully.
And more mistakes.
Yes, more mistakes.
More mistakes, more successes.
But I don't think overall, our mistakes have been that big compared to the successes that we have had. We've actually grown something.
Yes.
We've eaten our produce.
Yes.
And we've got some structures which are still here after the wind.
Yep.
And we've invested in bits of machinery, the tractor, a strimmer, a chainsaw, I keep forgetting the name. I've got a generator. So we're on our way.
We've also invested a lot of time and effort and love.
Absolutely.
Love.
And I think that's the
big
most
thing.
important thing.
If you don't love what you do, there's no point to it really, is there?
So there we are. We're getting a bit hot in here, so I think we're going to say arrivederci. So thank you so much for watching our year wander round, and we will see you next time.
Yes. In
Yes.
the meantime, take care and we'll see you then.
Bye for now.
Bye.